Hello everyone, welcome to Mecha Builds. Today we will be doing a Zaku variant, the MS07B-3. I'm kind of excited for this because I've done a Zaku in the past, a high grade one, and they do have some pretty cool tricks in the build up their sleeve, as well as this one has some other stuff just on the box that looks fun. So let's get started with just seeing what's in the box. Okay. There's the book. Awesome. Looking like we're gonna have cool sword and board, shotgun style launchers, lots of cool flexible pieces, moving pieces. Oh, that'll be cool. Like a sheath there. So let's get everything opened up and get started. So in the box, we've got this wire piece that will have some sort of flexible weapon, so that'll be fun. Of course, the infamous Zaku eyes. Looks like one of them might be for that. This is definitely some flexible stuff. So I'm gonna get these organized and we'll get started on the first step, which looks like it's just gonna be the body as per usual on these guys. So let me get everything separated up and organized and we'll dive right in. Of course, already out the gate we have a sprue with multiple colors shot in there. Again, super cool how they pull this off, but this is going to be a nice detail where this goes. I think I saw already where that's going to go, but that'll be cool. Giant shoes. It's going to be a fun build, I think. All right, looks like they're just go ahead and hitting the ground running with getting this sort of see-through orange piece to give it a little accent. Looks like right in there. It's a weird spot. Oh, it's not so bad. Looks cool already. A little LED in there would look really nice. You can already kind of see what they're doing with this piece. This is going to be a bit of a hip sort of movement there, just to give you a little tilt. And then they just want it to close up. Very nice. Oh. There we go. Not the most satisfying snap in the world, but you can tell you're going to get a lot of flexion in the shoulders and chest area already just by doing that. That was just a little tight, but it moves. It's pretty cool. Nice. As you can see, this is a bit of a darker build, but we're already starting to accomplish some of this layering just between the blues and the grays here. Covering some of that up just adds a nice finishing touch to it where they didn't have to. They could have made this whole thing blue and probably still would have been cool and said, go ahead and paint it. And I gotta tell you, they didn't have to do this with these ball joints on these thrusters, but slightly different color from the rest of it. Again, they didn't have to do that. Nice snap in there just to give it a little extra movement. It's not even a ton. Maybe you guys can hear the airplane out there. But it just looks great, moves around great, adds a little extra style to the model. Love it. This is an interesting thing they want you to do in the instructions here. They've cut these V's out in this, and the idea is so you can bend it into place to make a 90 with that tube. Well, that's very clever. I don't know how well this is going to fit, but we're going to find out. There we go. That is the completed chest. I guess I'm just waiting for the hip portion or something to get these connected. I think that's what's next, but overall a pretty good start. So we'll keep on moving. Man, I gotta say this hip has a lot of pieces to it. Looks like first we're connecting all this. And then getting the side skirts going. How much you want to bet that'll be for like a weapon there? And then this other side. Boom. And then to connect them up, simple ball joint at the waist. And these guys are to go in here. Yeah, I like how that looks. Oh, you know what? Here's the reason why this doesn't work. I've got these on backwards and upside down. All right, let me fix that. Yeah, that looks a little better. That's for sure. If you just do it the way they tell you, huh? Look at that. All different kinds of colors connected up to it. I'm liking how that moves around. I wonder what goes there, because that tube obviously goes something with it. So that'll be fun to see what they do next. So let's see, probably legs. Never mind, I lied. We're doing the head. Let's get the iconic Zaku eye going. Look at this move they did to hold this flexible hose piece down. They've got this slot going, and you've got this mouth guard that just slides over that and keeps it in place. Super smart. Look at how they close this guy up at the end, just with some simple, almost like a clamp. Love it. Beautiful snap. Let's get this head on the body. And this guy's already looking menacing for sure. So now we're just moving on to arms and legs. Don't know what that process is going to look like, but this is a pretty fun high grade. I got to say, it's very bulky, easy to put together. Instructions are very clear. Lots of friction in each joint so far. A little bit of hip movement. This is going to be a good one, I can tell. So, moving on. Okay, I almost want to take everything back that I said about this being a simple build, because this step right here has a lot of pieces going into it twice. I think this is a shoulder build, but it's pretty complicated. Just to give you an idea what that looks like on the inside there before we cover it up. There's a lot of moving pieces in there, but it should be cool in the end, but still fairly complex. But even still, in all these moving pieces, it still even has a little stopper to make it stop going from past that far, so that way it can flex that way but not that way. Very cool. A little bit more complication here even. I think this must be the elbow or something. Definitely a piece of the arm now. Man, it's a lot to fit together, that's for sure. I think maybe I'm doing this the wrong way. Maybe do that first. Look at all that. That's probably going to be for the wrist. There we go. Cool. Go with the closed fist today. There's one. With both arms done, let's take a look at the amount of flexion you get. I'll say it's a little bit disappointing that they didn't do the double jointed elbow on this like they did on the RX 78 high grade. You can get a little bit more out of it, but I get it. This is kind of a bulkier, non-Gundam, enemy unit, so makes sense. Maybe they put a little less into it, but I would have done that double joint there. Still looks good overall. So let's get these locked in. Yeah, look at beefy. Boom. Still can move the shoulder around quite a bit. Opening, closing the pec some. Not bad articulation there. Again, like I said, could be better, but if you rotate the shoulder around, you can get the angle you want. It's not too bad. These hands don't fit in super well. So, again, enemy unit, totally get it, but pretty good build so far. Interesting color scheme, interesting layering going on. So now I think I'm going to build this like tri-shot weapon over here. So let me put that together real fast. And I just noticed something when cutting out some of these pivot pieces. Have they fused this right here? That's weird. It looks like a melt happened there to make it add this extra piece. It's interesting. It's a pretty fun weapon to put together. Little reload handle there, it's reticle. Let's get it attached to the arm. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Very menacing. Get that pointed down range. Look at that. Very nice. So it looks like based on the instructions, we're just moving on to feet now. I'll give you guys a close-up of stage we're at. Very interesting build so far. So moving on to the legs and feet, and we should be kind of coming down the home stretch here pretty soon. So let's keep going. Okay, so it looks like we are finishing up the foot now, which is going to include the ankle, which look to be these pieces here, as well as it's like a little toe thing. I've done this on a previous high grade Zaku, and this little bit here just gives it a little bit more flexion in the ankle when you tilt it up and down. It's pretty nice. You'll see how this goes. I gotta say, this is pretty clever of them reusing this flexible piece here, because I know that something's gonna go in there as a pivot, but they just lock it in just to give it that friction when you snap it together. Just creative ways of using the same bit of, must be like an ABS or something where it's just a little bit more give in the plastic or rubber almost. This one is clearly on a pivot that will be able to move around once you close it up. But this one clearly is not there to move. Obviously, it's just there for friction for when you are twisting whatever it is that this is going to connect to. But it's just clever to use the same piece, just duplicated to achieve different goals. Very smart. Smart engineering right there. Again, just some things that you won't be able to see once it's fully assembled, but just that little bit extra of articulation there, probably in the foot or something like that. Again, they didn't have to. They could have just left that as a stiff ball joint, but why not give it a little extra, torsion there? There we go. That's how they get that double joint in the knee to really get a good bend on it. Although I think this is about as far as it'll go. Nice. In the home stretch, so this is the hip piece here. It's gonna go on like so. May as well go ahead and get these guys in. That one. There we go. And that's just going to thread on there nicely. And there it is. I have a completed Zaku here. This is, again, the MS07B-3 Gouf, whatever you want to call it. Very fun build so far. I mean, this is essentially the everything. Not really much else to do here, but pretty good detail for a high grade. Lots of friction in these joints comparatively, I gotta say. Look at that. It took longer than I expected, but it was a good build. Nothing was boring about it. Tons of fun each step of the way. So now that all that's left really is just for finishing out the kit of weapons. And the way I like to do that is just really disassemble the entire, oh, see, these hands are not that great. Disassemble the entire weapon sprue here. And there's a couple other shield pieces I'll knock out. And then we just put them together because there's not really a ton of pieces that look like each other on this guy. So let's finish this out. Okay, that looks like everything we're gonna need. So let's jump into it. I think the first one is the shield, which is kind of the one I'm most excited about. Oh, that just sounds great. Let's see if I can get that sound in there. It's cool. It's like a sheath. Very nice. I gotta say, with this Gatling gun, I am thoroughly impressed with how this is coming together. I don't even know how this is gonna end up, but it's gotta be cool. Look at this. I was gonna say, I've been messing with the sheath here behind the shield, which came together nicely. Look at the layering of colors on this thing. Very cool. But anyways, once you finish that up, the tip of the sword curves just a bit to miss that part of the Gatling gun right there. That's just, again, very thoughtful engineering. Look, it's like weaves between the two. Amazing. This is like an all-in-one weapon right here. All right, so I finished this mega weapon here with this bit of bullets. I love this piece. This is amazing. I put together quite a few weapons for Gundam before, and this has got to be up there with one of my favorites for sure. The only weird thing is, before I finish up these hands, and I obviously know where this goes, I think I have a couple of missing pieces, so let me look back on where these go. All right, can you blame me here? They go there. I thought this was going to be like a sword holster or something, but it's just clip. And it just goes like that. That looks better. May as well just go ahead and put the hand on this. And while I'm doing that, I always like to show this off. Again, Bandai doesn't just make a hole to hold the handle of whatever it is. It kind of pinches on there with the other half of it on the fingers. I just think that's clever, rather than cheaping out on some system to hold it in. This one really pinches it on there. There's also a slot for the handle in the hand that's kind of made for it, so it's not going anywhere. So that's going to do it for this Gouf custom build. I really enjoyed it. It ran into a lot of stuff I didn't expect on this. It ended up being a ton of fun. This weapon is just menacing. All the different things that you can do with it, even as a sword sheath, smaller shield, changing out all this. I mean, this is a cool section here, but the rest of the build was definitely really cool. So appreciate you guys stopping by to check out this build, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hey, if you comment some kits that you want to see in the next one, that would be really helpful for me too, because I'm just grabbing the ones that I like. So see you guys later.